So, boys and girls, it's Gypsy. Back at it again. It's going to be a video about the fight between David Lemieux and, well, should I say David Benavidez and David Lemieux? They're both Davids. It's funny. It's going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be fun to watch. I know it's an obvious. Everybody knows who's going to win that fight. It's David Benavidez. By KO, I may add. But no matter how long it lasts, it's gonna be a banger, I think. Whether it lasts for even one round, which I don't think it will. I think David Lemieux is tough enough to last at least 5 rounds. At least 5 rounds. But you never know. I think David Benavidez hits harder than David Lemieux. So, but this is in 168. Maybe Lemieux's not that drained, so he'll be able to take shots better. It'll be an interesting fight. Lemieux's slower, but he's got the tricks. Close range, his foot movement sucks. That's why it's like someone like Billy Joe Saunders was able to beat the crap out of him so easily. But his hand speed is okay. It's not fast, but he got decent tricks. They call him basic, but he's really not so basic. He's got some tricks up his sleeve. That's why someone like Triple G avoided fighting in the pocket with him. But David Lemieux, he kept him off with the jab because he does have tricks in the pocket that he can utilize. He can feint going from, let's say you're gonna throw a hook and comes up with an uppercut. He has a lot of weird fucking shit that he can throw, and the styles makes fights. This style of David Lemieux is like perfect for David Benavidez, but it's very entertaining at the same side. It's a very entertaining fight. I think it's going to be entertaining. I could be wrong, man, because I think this is going to be very, very entertaining. You know what I mean? I would love to watch it, not because David Lemieux is an Armenian, because he is. That's Canadian. That's probably changed his last name to, or maybe his dad's. He took his dad's last name. I don't know who's the Armenian factor, but I know he's Armenian. He's Armenian Canadian. Should be pretty interesting to watch. I like to say, I would be watching this fight, and it's sad that people like what's his name, Charlo doesn't attempt to fight someone like this Lemieux. You know why? Because he's a power puncher, and he's the high risk. It's high risk, low reward. Fight. Maybe he does catch him and everything, but I don't think Charlo loses to Lemieux. I think Charlo does definitely beat, like the older brother beats Lemieux. Or even Danny Jacobs didn't attempt to fight this dude. It would have been nice to watch. It would have been entertaining. But I guess David Benavidez took the shot. Just because the power factor. If Lemieux had a little bit of better of a chin, it would have been good. It would have been extremely exciting. It's going to be exciting, but for as long as it lasts. Let's just say that much. And with Castaño's situation, people like discrediting Castaño. Castaño with Charlo, the fight between the two. Let me tell you something about him. The fight between these two guys, the second fight, the better boxer was still Castaño. Okay, just because Charlo is a fucking weight bully that fights at 154, and he also, the way they train, I think Anthony Joshua should take the pointers off of them. They really fucking hit the bags for hours, without stop. There is no 3-minute fucking round thing and then stop and then continue hitting the bag or do something else and then come back and hit the bag. There's none of that shit going on when it comes down to the Charlo brothers. And even Errol Spence, same shit, So they got good conditioning, and they do carry their power all the way to 12 rounds because they're used to going for hours on end hitting the bag. But he's a weight bully. Unlike Errol Spence, not so much a weight bully. Charlo brothers, weight bully. And where Castaño went wrong in the second fight is he overdid it. He was trying to go for the KO. But if he had kept maybe the same thing that he did in the first fight, not maybe, I'm pretty sure, if he kept the same tempo, he wouldn't have got tired. He got tired, that's why he got hit by a shot that he got rocked in the first fight. But this time, his legs went out of the way because he was so tired. He exhausted, he over-exhausted himself. His punch was not even there the round before, the round that he got knocked out. But, I mean, I said it in this fight. I picked Castaño by decision, but I said it in this fight that the better boxer is Castaño. But Charlo has a punch. He punched through the fucking guard of Castaño, and I said it in the BDA channel, not on my fucking channel, on the podcast. That if he punches through the guard, he hurts him. But if Castaño drained himself punching him, he punched himself out in the later rounds, thinking that he's gonna finish him off. He ended up being in trouble like he was in the first fight, and where he got Charlo hooked him. And when he hooked him through the fucking guard, you know, and ultimately hurt him and stopped him. But this is not about Charlo and Castaño's fight. This is about David Benavidez versus David Lemieux. And obviously David Benavidez is going to knock David Lemieux out, but it'll be a hell of an entertaining fight. I'm gonna watch tomorrow, and may the best man win. That's pretty much all I gotta say about this fight, you know. And I'm not much fan of neither one of the two guys. I'm realistically not a much fan. I'm a fan of boxing. I like to see, just like any casual fan would, to the hardcore, to the casual, a banger, you know what I mean? All of them. I would like to see that. If you're either one of them, doesn't matter. I'm a hardcore boxing fan, but you know, just like the casuals, I like a banger. You know what I mean? This is gonna be a banger. It's gonna be an entertaining, close quarter fight where any man, I mean, never know, man. David Lemieux might pull it off. I'll be surprised actually, because David Benavidez can bang, and he has a decent chin just because he's been dropped by a jab because of having poor footing. Does not mean anything. You know, this should be amazing, a good fight where I think David Benavidez stops him somewhere around 6 or 7. I think I'm gonna go with 6 again, just like I did with the Tyson Fury fight and Dillian White. 6 is the number to go with in this fight. But you never know, maybe it's the other way around. It'd be an interesting thing to see. Anyways, there's going to be a fight with Rolly versus Tank Davis. I think Rolly is the guy to beat Tank Davis. Rolly's a legitimate contender that can even possibly stop Tank Davis. I'm not saying he 100% will stop Tank Davis, but I wouldn't be surprised if he stopped Tank Davis. I think that's the guy to beat Tank Davis because of just a stylistically bad matchup for Tank. Even Cruz was a bad matchup. I think Cruz beat him, but this is going to be a more obvious win. This is going to be more of an obvious win for for Rolly than what Cruz was. Well, by 1 round, I gave 1 round over over Tank in the fight with Cruz and Tank. This one might be more than 1 round because Rolly's pretty fast. They say about his skills, he got decent skills. He doesn't have the best skills, but his speed can change the whole factor, and his power punching could change the whole factor, and his consistency, just like people like Errol Spence and Bivol. Rolly has a good consistency. He does not get tired from 1 to 12. He won't. I don't think he has he fought 12 rounds? But either way, if he hasn't, I've seen for sure 10 rounds. But he doesn't get tired, and he moves. He has got that quick reflexes. He doesn't have the timing as good as Bivol or even Errol Spence, you know what I mean? But he's got that. He still has decent, good speed with the timing. Decent, more than enough to beat someone like Tank Davis. I'll just say that much. More than enough, you know. And he's got a chin. He's got all that stuff. You know, if Tank knocks him out, that'd be amazing, because I don't think he can knock out Rolly, and but I think Rolly can probably. I've seen Tank hurt. I've seen Tank quiver a little bit. And when I say hurt, I mean like I'm not saying his legs kind of gave out or whatever. I'm saying that his chin, his face kind of felt like he didn't want to get hit anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you look at his face, he didn't want to get hit anymore. Kind of like Ugas against Errol Spence, but not exactly. It was even kind of a little bit worse than that. He was almost like crying in the ring, and I think Rolly wasn't bullshitting that this fool almost like cries in the ring sometimes. That could be an issue against Rolly, because Rolly can take advantage of that, unlike the guys that he's fought before, like the Barrios, the Pedrazas, and all those motherfuckers. You know what I mean? So I'm leaning towards Rolly for the upset. You know, it's so easy to pick Tank for the decision by robbery, but I'm leaning towards Rolly for the upset. But it's boxing. You know, I've been saying it for like months ago that Rolly can pull this off, and I think Rolly will probably pull it off. You know, make it real hard for Tank to fight him. And, you know, it's going to be it's also going to be a banger of a fight, too. Tank doesn't decide to run around the ring and not get stopped and go to the decision and rob fucking Rolly. That's also a possibility. It's all about the game plans. So I can't really sit there and say 100% there's going to be a knockout in this fight between Rolly and Tank. But there's going to be one for David Benavidez and Lemieux, that's for sure, because they both are front foot fighters, and Lemieux doesn't have the best chin. Both got power, but, you know, Rolly and Tank, Rolly's more of a front foot fighter. Tank can decide, is more of a back foot fighter that chooses sometimes to go front foot. You know what I mean? Tank is like does, and if he gets hurt, he might start to decide to do, you know, cycles like he did against Cruz. So I'm going with Rolly, and I'm going Rolly by Mayweather might not have his back no more. Tanks. I'll probably go with Rolly with decision. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a knockout by Rolly. I'm going to do it that way. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. It's the Gypsy. I'm out.